Are we needed by the future? The real question is different from what we're used to asking. It's not whether the future will come. It's already on its way. The question is, does it need us? Will we become the ones it chooses to enter? Will we be able to turn a dream into form, fear into a step, an empty waiting into a small daily flame? If yes, the next page will open sooner than you think. If not, the wave will pass you by. Welcome. Let's begin with learning how to hear its rhythm. Everyone talks about the future, but almost no one says the most important thing. We've been taught to draw time as a straight line: yesterday, today, tomorrow. And it feels like all we need to do is keep walking forward, and eventually we'll arrive. But the initiates knew. The future doesn't live on a straight line. It comes in waves. Sometimes the wave barely brushes the shore, a soft breath of air. Sometimes it rises high and crashes like a wall. And in that moment, one person is knocked down, while another is lifted and carried forward. The difference isn't in the strength of the wave. The difference is in how we meet it. There's a piece of knowledge that's rarely spoken aloud. New things pull tomorrow closer than old ones. Projects are magnets for time. When all you have is a vague dream, the future moves slowly. But the moment you give that dream form, even something small, like a notebook, a file, a sketch, or a rough draft, the wave finds a way in. Many kept a little candle work, a daily flame, modest but steady, that called the future closer each day. And there's another secret. The ancients spoke of a great archive, a library of possibilities. Every destiny lies within it, every path of civilization. But among the shelves there are also white pages, empty until someone dares to step beyond the familiar. You can't schedule them. They only appear through risk, honesty, and the living courage to say yes to something greater than yourself. The future doesn't come to everyone the same way. It chooses those who make room for it. Attention instead of noise, breath instead of hurry, a small daily flame instead of endless plans. Where we cling to yesterday, the wave recedes. Where we open ourselves, it rises and carries us. That's why the real question isn't what we think it is. It's not, will the future come? It's already on its way. The real question is, does it need us? Will we become the ones it chooses to enter? Will we be able to turn a dream into form, fear into a step, an empty waiting into a small daily fire? If yes, the next page will open sooner than you think. If not, the wave will pass you by. Welcome. Let's begin by learning how to hear its rhythm. We're used to thinking of the future as a road everyone walks down in the same way. But the initiates knew it isn't a road. It's a set of gates. And not everyone gets to walk through them. Here's the secret. The gates of perception don't obey time. They can open at any moment, in the morning over coffee, at night in solitude, or even in the middle of a noisy street. But they're only visible to the ones whose attention is free from habit. Fear shuts the doors. It narrows the corridor, makes it dark. And then a person walks past 1,000 possibilities thinking, nothing ever changes. Autopilot makes the doors invisible. You rush, you push, you solve problems, and you don't even notice that the future was knocking right next to you. But there's knowledge that was rarely shared openly. The gates respond to attention. Where a person slows down, listens, notices the sign, the door trembles and begins to open. The initiates taught how to recognize those signs. that sudden trembling in the heart when you see something new, a repeating symbol showing up in different places, a strange coincidence that feels like it's calling you. These aren't accidents, that's the breath of the future. And here's another secret. Sometimes the gates lead to white pages. These are doors that have nothing written behind them yet. They open only for the ones who dare to step into the unknown. And it's there that stories are born which never existed before. The gates of perception are a test. If you walk blindly, believing everything is already decided, they will stay shut. But if you choose attention over hurry, trust over fear, the future will begin to look for a way in through you. The future doesn't shout, it always whispers. And only those who can hear that whisper enter first, long before the others ever arrive. It may sound like just beautiful words, gates, signs, white pages, but the truth is, they're always around you. We're simply moving too fast to notice them. Want to test it? Let's do a little practice. Just 1 minute, and you'll feel what it means. Sit back comfortably, take a breath, and a slow exhale. Feel your body soften a little. Now close your eyes. Recall the last few days. Was there a moment when something inside you stirred? A small spark, a random word, a strange coincidence, an unexpected sign? Don't dismiss it. Just remember it. That was a door, small, subtle, but alive. Now take another breath in and out. Open your eyes and look around. The world hasn't changed, but your way of seeing it has. You're a little more attentive, a little quieter, a little closer to the gates that are waiting just for you. The ancients said, everything possible is already stored somewhere, not only yesterday and today, but tomorrow as well. They called this place the library. They said the library holds it all. Every path of civilization, every book that could ever be written, every life that could ever be lived. Imagine endless halls, shelves rising toward the sky, books that no one has read yet, and somewhere among them lies your story. But the most mysterious part, there are also white pages, empty until someone dares to step beyond the familiar. And when that step is taken, the letters appear on their own, and the future changes. Maybe in those pages you'll remain the same, or maybe they'll tell the story of the person you are only just beginning to become. The greatest secret: not every page in the library comes alive, only the page you choose to open. People rarely speak of this library openly. It has always been kept in silence, because if you saw all the books at once, you could lose yourself. And today I'll say just one thing. The library exists, and inside, your book is already waiting. But how to find its hall, how to open the right page, that's a story for another time. The true keepers of the library always knew. The energy of the future was never given for control. It was given for transformation of the self. And only those who change themselves can hear the energy begin to sing, instead of destroy. And in the next video, we'll walk into those secret halls of the library, where the stories of collapse and triumph are kept, to discover why for some, energy brings light, and for others, only ruin. If you're ready to hear what was rarely spoken aloud, come join me here on the channel. The future never arrives by itself. It doesn't descend on schedule. It searches for a place to enter, and the entry point isn't the dreams in your head. It's what you actually do with your hands. Notice this: when we only think, nothing moves. But the moment you take even the smallest action, It feels as if time begins to bend toward you. You write a few lines, and suddenly a new idea appears. You open a blank document, plant a seed in the soil, take the very first step, and the world responds. The initiates called this candle works. Small, humble actions that burn and call the future closer. Not grand promises, not 100-point plans, just tiny steps that keep the flame alive in reality. The future comes to where there is already light, and if you have your candle, your living work that burns within you, tomorrow will always find its way in. Don't ask, "When will my time come?" Ask instead, "What can I light today?" We've walked through the gates of perception, touched hidden knowledge, and seen that energy can lift or it can destroy. We've learned the future doesn't wait for everyone equally. It looks for those who are ready, and now we've come to the heart of it. How do we bring it all together into one thought, one feeling? What does it truly mean to be needed by the future? Time is not a chain dragging us forward. It's a fabric, and every move we make leaves a pattern in it. The future isn't waiting somewhere far away. It's already standing at the threshold, looking for a way in. And that doorway is us, our steps, our small daily acts, our attention. Every day we decide, will we open the page or walk past it? Will we burn time in waiting or turn it into a fire that calls tomorrow closer? And if you're hearing this now, it means the future is already knocking. It's searching for your hands, your voice, your heart. The only question is, will you become the door it chooses to walk through?